we all understand that he's stronger than Jigen. For Code's strength, do you guys think he's closer to Ishiki Otsuki or closer to Jigen?
I think he's
I say
personally close to
Jigen.
Ishiki. Oh wow.
Oh,
Hmm.
debate, fight, fight, fight.
Debate.
Well, because they said all right, so like stronger than Jigen, but
Get him,
not Ishiki level. Because
get
it
him.
was just stated that when he got his limiters removed, that he was a threat to Jigen. That's why Jigen had the limiters placed on him. So I don't think he's a Shiki level, but Jigen, yeah, he's above Jigen.
I wouldn't say he's on the level of Ishiki, but I think he's somewhere like he's more closer to Ishiki compared to Chiken. Just from a narrative basis, as the villains in Boruto are being introduced, they're slowly but surely are getting stronger. At least in terms of collective power, right? The first manga canon arc or the first main arc of Boruto, the focus was like Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Then the arc after that, at least the next big main villain was Jigen. Then after that, we had like Ishiki, right? So like as
Yeah,
the story is progressing, so is the scale. So
right.
I personally believe like with Code, the way they're hyping him up, Amato even said like when he's talking about like the cyborgs that he disposed of, he said that like I had cyborgs that greatly surpassed Jigen. He didn't just say surpassed them, but greatly
Greatly.
surpassed them. So,
True.
with the overall scale of it, I think at least Code's true power and what he can actually do in battle, I would think it's closer to Ishiki, but not on that same tier at least than to Jigen's power because they keep bringing it up throughout this entire arc. They keep hyping it up, so he's gonna be a bad man.
In my personal opinion, I've always thought that he'd probably be closer to Jigen, but I definitely get where you're coming from. Just the power scale when it comes to enemies getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I think Ishiki Otsuki was supposed to be viewed as more of like a peak guy, so I don't necessarily think he'd actually surpass Ishiki Otsuki, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't necessarily think that either. But the reason I'd say he's close to Jigen is because I think there has to be room for a character like Ida and Damon to be above Code, but also be weaker than Ishiki Otsutsuki, if that makes sense. Jigen himself, when he was fighting against Naruto and Sasuke, he himself was like stronger than Jigen because he got a boost from like the Ten Tails. I think if Code is like slightly stronger than that version of Jigen, I think that right there would be like the most realistic for me.
I agree with like because that's how most shonen go with power scaling. The next threat is always going to be stronger than the threat after that. But we had something significant that happened in this show that typically, well, it happens in other shows, but it doesn't happen a lot where the main characters get nerfed. The strongest characters actually get weaker. So I don't think that they necessarily have to make Code outrageously strong to the point where he's a Shiki level to
Mhm.
for it to make sense for the power scaling to go up because the people that the fans will rely on Kawaki and Boruto of course will be Naruto and Sasuke. So is he if he's absolutely demolishing Naruto and Sasuke in the mode that they are right now, it will still make an impact. Like yo, this dude is like insanely strong.
So could he demolish Kawaki and Boruto? You think?
I mean, we don't know that. We don't know yet. He just got his limiters removed.
Oh,
But
nah,
if
you
he's
gonna make
above,
you
hold
gonna make
on.
me say.
Let
All
me
right.
complete my statement. Let me complete my statement. We don't know yet because he just got his limiters removed. But if he's stated to be above Jigen, then yes, I think that he will get not demolished, but he will give Boruto and Kawaki a run for their money together. Yeah.
So you think he'd lose versus them?
I think that he will give them a run for their money. I don't think that he's losing. I
Oh,
think the
yeah.
battle will come some real close. Like he's not going to just
Chat,
outright. He's not just going to outright just smash him like he was doing Naruto and Sasuke. Even though that would be pleasing to see.
we smell a malarkey right now. So is he going to beat
I
them?
would love to see another character get used as a surfboard.
Well, but is he going to? Is he able to beat them? We got press free game. I haven't pressed free game in a minute.
I just answered your question.
So he does
Oh,
beat them.
I think that he does beat them, but it's not going to be easy.
Oh, okay, all right. That's what I'm. All right, go ahead.
But I would love
Which
to see another character, mostly Kawaki, being used as a surfboard again. But
that's not happening.
we're not gonna talk about that. I would love to see Cole. I would love to see Cole use Kawaki as a surfboard. Just one more time, just for the fans. Just in like
yo, what you guys want the smoke today? We out here Shaolin Showdown. Like, what's going on? Look,
Oh
well,
man.
I think, look, like, what do you mean by like stronger? Like you talking about like ability base? We talking about like chakra, how much chakra reserves he has?
Well,
Or we talking about
physically
physical
stronger.
prowess? Like what do you
Yeah.
mean by
Or
stronger?
just overall power. I think that's what
Melo,
you're
yeah.
referring to.
So y'all all 2C sliding around the point. If Boruto and Kawaki pulled up on
Tusi
Code,
sliding
is
around the
Code
point.
winning?
Where's this guy? Come on, yo! Don't be adding just like
What are you
don't the way
doing?
you say things is just like it just makes it seem like they're not answering the question. Like
His visual prowess, if we are assuming it's a dojutsu, it tracks this franchise. We don't know what it does, so I can't even go off of that. Physical prowess, I I'm not even sure if I don't think I have enough data to go off of that either. I
Well,
know
none
he's
of us do.
stronger
I'm
than.
not gonna hold you to this like 2 weeks later and debate you on this
No, no,
point.
no, 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 no.
We
That's
just
fine.
throwing it
That's
out.
fine. That's fine. But I do want to like provide like the most accurate analysis that I can do, which is why I was trying to break down this segments of power so I can get to like the
Hmm.
most definitive conclusion. But if you're just
Hmm.
giving me like some, I would say obviously stronger than Jigen, um, most likely weaker than Ishiki, although I can't really parse that out. If I'm saying that these characters, yo, Bouncy Nuggets, thank you for your donation. I got you, bro. Um, if I'm saying that these characters are powerful because of their hack-based abilities and not just like chakra reserves or physical prowess, then whatever ability that Code has is going to be like a huge determining factor in how I scale him, which I just don't know what
Hmm.
that is. So I'm just going to say right now with the data I have, he's not stronger than Ishiki. He's closer to Jigen, but more powerful than Jigen. And if Kawaki and Boruto pulled up on him right now, I would say that they would lose, and I think that makes narrative sense. Again, Kawaki and Boruto gets their power ups, and he got his power up to match them. So now they're going to clash. He is the main antagonist. They're the two main protagonists. They need to be able to scale to him, but not outright beat him. And inevitably, they're going to need something more to get them over the hump. Potentially the Jogan, potentially, I don't know, if base Momoshiki inside of Boruto turns up and he transforms to fuse Momoshiki and now he gets this burst of power. Or maybe Kawaki can tap into more of the triangles with the visual prowess of Ishiki Otsutsuki. But just right now where they are, no, they can't win.
I don't
Yeah,
like that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I personally believe that that's what's gonna happen. If they were to fight Code right now, with Code getting his limiters removed, I think just like what Mello said from a narrative perspective, it would make sense. Now I don't expect Code to like just absolutely thrash Boruto and Kawaki. I definitely do think it would be a close fight, but I think Code would be able to beat them like mid difficulty. That would set up a lot more for like it would set up more characters to possibly jump in, include like Naruto or Sasuke, or possibly like a Sarada or Mitsuki if the writers are ambitious enough. As well as maybe more power ups for Boruto and Kawaki, right? Boruto could possibly unlock the Jogan while fighting Code, or we can get some more serious consequences. Maybe Boruto actually gets fed to the Tentail. So we know that Code wants to feed Boruto to that Tentail to harvest that chakra fruit. If we do get to see something like that, there'd be serious consequences for this arc, and that could set up something like the time skip, for example. Of course, Boruto would have to come back because he's the main character, but if we got something like that, I would love to see like Ko just take that W and sort of just like expand upon his powers and upon his character. Because if Boruto and Kawaki pull up and beat him again, that'd be just kind of boring. I think that'd be really predictable and just like cliche in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
that's.
come. Mm.
I was gonna say, I think at some point, Code needs to get a moment to like
Yeah,
be that guy, and I
for
think that
sure.
has to come at the beginning of his battle with Kawaki and Boruto. Otherwise, I mean, come on, man, this dude. I mean, I guess he looked cool going up against Boruto in
Yeah,
1v1, but like he hasn't really had like that oh shit moment, like
like
Jigen,
Jigen.
like yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, like dynamic entry or Susanoo, sir. Like no, he hasn't had one of those moments, and I think that's coming
skateboard.
up.
or
Exactly.
like when
I
he
think
or
that's
like when Jigen
inevitable.
or like when Jigen pulled up to Naruto's crib and apologized for
Right.
not taking off his shoes, stuff like that. Like we need
So
that for
elegant.
Code.
So elegant.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not
That's
Yeah,
the
like
even
one thing.
that's
That's
how
the
you
one thing I
build
really liked.
characters.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the
yeah.
one thing I really liked about Jigen. Even though like even before the battle with Naruto and Sasuke, Jigen had like a menacing attitude, and he was classy at the same time, and
Ooh.
he had such a
Hmm.
demand for the screen compared to Code. Code doesn't have that same presence, nor does he have that same demand like Jigen did. So it's kind of hard to take him seriously until he has a moment like that. That's where like we can start to appreciate Code a lot more.
And I think
Man.
like
Yeah.
if you throw in like a basketball reference really quick, like when you're up in the game, you start talking real big, right? Like you big boy,
Yeah,
right? That's how
True.
Code is right now. He got his new powers, new haircut. He feeling himself, eyelashes on fleek. This man is out here talking. This man out
yeah,
here
yeah,
talking big. So
yeah.
we definitely like his power may influence his actual demeanor and his characterization, how he carries himself. He may just be entirely different. So where he is that swaggy, charismatic type of personality based upon the power that he just got. Dude came out talking about something. It feels nice to feel like you can beat anybody. So I'm like, okay, this dude's out here. So, but
Hmm.
it's a different mindset when you losing, bro. Because when you losing, you don't be talking too much. So yeah.
Fact.
Bugs.
Yo, cocky code got to be a thing now, man. They got
Oh
to make that a thing. Before we get to the super chats, because I don't want to lose this topic in my mind. Keto Maki just joined, and of course we got to ask him. I got to press him as well, just like how I pressed all three of y'all. But it's gonna be two separate questions without his limiters. Do you think that he's close to Jigen or close to Ishiki Otsutsuki?
with
First question.
without the limiters.
Yes.
So I think he said that Code exceeded Jigen's combat abilities. So I think he's above
Mm.
Jigen. But the question would be, was he referring to Telltale's amp or without Telltale's amp?
But
No,
is he close to Ishiki or close to Jigen? Because we know that
I
he's
don't
stronger than
think.
Jigen.
I think he's close to Jigen rather than being close to Ishiki.
Thank you.
And not only
Yeah,
that, the second question: do you think Code would beat Boruto and Kawaki in a 2v1 right now?
I don't think so. I have a
Mm.
specific reason why. I don't think so. I
Talk to
don't.
me.
Uh,
Unless you're gonna make a video about it. That
I
ball.
am, but I can still talk.
All
But
right.
yeah, I
What
think
the?
people are going to use like the narrative reason why Code should be stronger than Kawaki right now. There's a narrative reason, and then you have to look at the logical reason as well why he shouldn't. So narratively, you'd want him to be stronger. Like they've been hyping up this new form. He has to be stronger than Kawaki. Kawaki, it's typical shonen. You get bodied, then you body after. Like you get bodied, you come back, you body the person who bodied you. So I think people are going with that logic. Narratively, he got bodied by Kawaki. He gets a new form. He should come and body Kawaki. Kawaki gets stronger, then bodies Code again. Typical shonen. But then again, you have to like the logic of it doesn't make sense for me specifically because like we have to understand like Code just has as explained by Amado, and then we can go into the theories and headcanon and whether or not Amado was telling the truth. Code just has a karma from Ishiki that just gives him power. Kawaki has the same karma, well, a real karma, to be exact, that gives him power, and it also otsutsukifies his body. He also has Ishiki's dojutsu, and Code doesn't. He has so many things that Code's lacking, while he has what Code has. So, Code being stronger than Kawaki just logically doesn't make sense to me, unless we're gonna attribute this strength, which we're kind of theorizing about it in Discord, that the limiters might not have been just for Code's karma. It could have been for Code's innate strength as well,
I
because you
think
do
that's
know
what it
that.
is.
Mm.
I don't think it
Yeah,
had nothing to do with the karma. I think it had to do with him
Yeah.
I
specifically,
think
his
it
strength.
I think it has to do with karma as well, but both. Because like we know that unless like Code pre-limiters was utilizing full power karma, which I doubt is the case because he wasn't doing anything really. So I think it's possible that it was limiting both his innate strength, because you do know that Amado created cyborgs that were above Jigen level and they didn't have karma. So I think it's possible that Code without karma is above Jigen level, and with karma that maybe I was wrong before. Maybe he's even close to Ishiki now with the limiters removed off of his innate power and also off of the karma itself that was limiting all of those capabilities. So I think it's possible if we go that route, which is really just headcanon because it hasn't been confirmed, but we can, theorize and say that it's possible that that is the case. But that's the only way I would agree that Code should be stronger or will be stronger if the limiters were limiting his capabilities and he was above Jigen before the karma. But if it's just karma alone and he was just like a basic cyborg like Kawaki, like base Kawaki without karma is ass. He's got bodied by Shinki, bro. So if this dude is base Kawaki level without karma, then no, it doesn't make sense. Without limiters, of course. But yeah, if he's
Gotcha.
like Jigen level, cyborg, and then karma on top, then it makes sense for him to be stronger.
Yo,
Mhm.
um, Juju, thank you so much for your support. Good stuff, my guy. I appreciate that. I'm so sorry, FBK, bro. I got you, bro. It's been a minute. Thank you so much for your support. Code without limiters said he feels like he can't be beaten. Do you think he is speaking of his new base only, or with the karma boost as well? I think that's what we were.
Yeah,
Akidamak
pretty
was
much
kind of
talking
alluding
about.
to
Yeah.
with his last thing. So, I do think it was um, for now, without me, just off the top of my head, without me putting any extra analysis into it, I think I'll just agree with the premise that Kidomaki spoke on, and then I'll think about it a little deeper, and then come up with my own analysis moving forwards.